Mic check. Does this work? Looks like it. Hello there. It's me, the Duologs. And today we'll be going over some Yu-Gi-Oh videos. Actually, I'm just going to be farming gold for 2 hours. Dang it. I thought enchants would be selling a lot more than this. Any Warmane players here? What's Warmane? Become the Lich King? Okay. Oh, god damn it. I don't want to do that. Well, is Warmane one of those illegal servers? I knew it sounded familiar. So you can make money by farming gold? Probably. I can't imagine you'd make very much, though. Like, if you want to make money, I would assume it's easier to just get a job. Warmane is a Waltk private server. Do you still play Classic? I put Classic on hold until I get 5 million gold. That's what I did. I need to see how much enchanting materials I have. Good night, boss. Gotta go. See ya, dude. This is like week 3 and you're at 4.5. You're really bad at this gold farming thing. Well, I don't really have time to gold farm. So I have a lot of gloom dust. I have a lot of umbra shards. I don't have a lot of veiled crystal. You make money off of streaming, don't you?
Catch you on the flip side.
Not really. Like, if I wanted to make money on streaming, what I'd have to do is stream at more consistent hours, and not just one day a week for 2 hours. I'd probably need to extend that stream by an additional 2 hours. 4-hour streams are also considered short, and I do half of that once a week. And then once I have a consistent stream schedule, and a consistent viewer base, then I'd have to encourage donations. The way you can do that is simply by just having a ticker on the screen. You know, hey, these people have donated the most. This is my donation goal.
Yeah, what do you want?
Once people get in the habit of donating and seeing donations, then that's when I start making money.
Keep it real.
Alternatively, I'd probably have to move over to Twitch if I wanted to make real money, because Twitch Prime gives you a lot of extra. I don't want to do any of that. I'd rather use that time to just make more videos. There's a lot of strategy and work that goes into making money on a stream. What I do is very casual shit. How are you, hero? I'm doing good. Would you buy some game time for a kind stranger? No. I sometimes get people who like email me asking me to buy them game time. I mean, granted, can't really hurt to ask, but I don't do that. I don't know of any other YouTubers that do that. But, you know, then again, can't really blame a guy for trying. But the answer is always going to be no. However, if I see someone like, you know, most of the time when someone asks me for money on the street, if I have cash, I usually give it to them. Because I used to be homeless. I used to beg for money. I know what it's like. It's not fun. You never know what's going on in their life. But I don't really extend that over to paying for people's WoW time. I'm glad you're smart enough to play Horde instead of Alliance. I just like the monster races. That's all it is. Anyone play Ascension WoW? It's a legal private server. No, it's not. All private servers are illegal. That's why they're called illegal servers. Used to be homeless? Yeah, when I was a kid. How old are you? 28. Okay, what was I gonna do? Why did I log onto this character? I don't remember. I don't think I came here to go to my garrison, that's for sure. I think I was gonna make some bracers and send them over. Were you actually? Is that true? Yeah, I used to be super poor. I just want someone to buy WoW for me. I can buy game time and farm gold for tokens. I just need the game. Oof. Well, I mean, most of the people who play in private servers do so because they can't pay for normal WoW. You know, a lot of the other people are just the kinds of people who pirate all their games. And then there's the people who just like to play old versions of their game. I remember before I knew more about the private server community, I just assumed all of them were there because they just like to play old versions of the games. That's not really the case. A lot of them are just people who pirate everything. So of course they would pirate an online game if they have the chance.
Only the finest goods.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That should be enough nylon thread for now. How are you now? How am I now? What do you mean, how am I now?
Rousing my competitors.
Am I no longer homeless? Yeah, that's definitely true. You think you can make 5 million gold starting from nothing now? Yeah, I had 0 gold on this server last year. I've made all 5 million of it in the past year. I'll make a video about it though. I cheated a little bit here and there. He's homeless now. His heart doesn't have a home. Yeah, exactly. Now, I'm not going to craft bracers the entire stream. Just like 100 of them. Just a tiny amount of bracers. I'm sorry I had to be that way. Hope you're better now. Hope I'm no longer homeless. Yeah, I mean, that was a long time ago. That was like 20 years ago. What does making money consist of in retail? I only know classic methods. There's like 10 times more ways to make money in retail than there is in classic. Classic is incredibly limited in how you can make gold. You want to talk about it? Talk about what? Blizzard tweeted it was different enough to where it's not a straight copy of the actual game. You get random abilities every 2 levels. Yeah, I'm sure they did. I'm sorry it had to be that way. Hope you're better now. Hope better for what? What are you guys talking about? Want to tell us your stories about being homeless? No, that would be like a huge downer. Just wanted to say, watch all your top 10 videos. They're really well researched. Why, thank you. I like to think I put effort into it. How do you balance working, playing WoW, and making videos? Not very well. That's how I do it. I need to find a way to better increase my workflow. Hi here, do you think someone can make 5 million gold before Shadowlands? It all depends on how much free time you have. I have very little, so it's taken me a long time. But if you have oodles of free time, if you're just like a free time machine, yeah, you can do it, no problem. I don't know, do any of you guys have oodles of free time? You farm in Explosum? Not right now. I really just need the Gloom Dust. Because I'm tired of doing the... Like, I was doing the math on the shuffle. And enchanting materials are so low in price that I'm not really making a profit. Unless I sell enchants themselves. And enchants themselves sell very slowly. So I'm just going to liquidate all of my linen cloth into pants. I'm just going to turn the rest of them into Tide Spray linen pants and just vendor them. Because I don't want to deal with the shuffle anymore. I'm just not making enough gold off of it. It takes too much time and there's not enough reward for it. I spent like an hour yesterday doing the math on that. And I was like, damn it, the only way I can make gold on this is if I sell enchants. I do sell enchants as well. They just don't sell fast. They don't sell anywhere near fast enough where it's worth keeping the shuffle up. Especially since I have an end goal in sight. I wish I had done this like a year ago, when people were still buying enchants and enchanting materials. Economy's all about undercutting by a couple silver and hoping someone bites. That's like the barest bone part of playing the auction house. So little that people don't even consider it as something worth talking about. Like, if you give advice on how to do the auction house and stuff, most of them will not even mention how to undercut, because that's just like, of course you're undercut. Now, let's talk about the real things of auction house stuff. I thought it sounded interesting. What sounds interesting? Probably my past. I remember I was going to make a Draw My Life video back in like the early days of the channel, and I wrote the script for it, but when I was done, I was like, I can't release this video. It's too much of a downer. And my channel it's like a huge stark contrast. It's like, ooh, look at all this extreme poverty and violence and drugs. Not involving me, of course. It was just the environment I grew up in. It's like, this isn't something you put on a World of Warcraft channel with educational top 10 videos. So it was just too different. I scrapped it. It's never gonna get made. However, I did release it on my Patreon, the script. And everyone who read it basically agreed. Like, yeah, it's it's not really a good fit for the channel. It's too different. You should do the Draw My Life video. I'm not gonna do it. The only way to see it is to join the Patreon and just look for the past post. Because it's one of those Patreon only things. What was your first raid like? First ever raid I did was ICC. And it went pretty well. I did well enough where the raid team like invited me back. And then I joined another raid team. And then they, like, everything dropped for my hunter and no one else could use my gear. So I got super geared from that one run. And they're like, hey, you should join our guild. All the gear will go to you since we don't have a hunter. Or anyone else who can use it. And I was like, heck yeah. So I joined that one, and that was, like... that was a lot of fun. I eventually started raining my priest because I wanted to try healing. And then I got stuck playing my priest. If you want an intense, depressing, watch Boogie's Draw My Life video, I have seen his video. I watch a lot of Boogie. Even if I think he's really stupid. Well, I only say that because he does and says a lot of stupid things. But I still like him and I still watch his videos. And, whatchamacallit, I saw his Draw My Life video. And I was like, yeah, mine would kind of be in the same vein as his. Thanks for the $10, Phantom Evil. Thanks for the YouTube videos. Well, thank you for watching. I wouldn't be able to make videos all day if it wasn't for a whole bunch of people watching them. I remember when I first started making videos. Like, when a video got to 100 views after a couple of weeks, I was so excited. There's just something that feels good about making something, you know, even if it's like garbage, just regurgitating facts you found online. But seeing someone else enjoy it, it's just a good feeling. I don't know what it is about it. Like, I get the same feeling whenever I DM games. So I really like DMing. It's just the feeling of making something that a lot of people enjoy. How much gold are you at now? I haven't made any gold since the stream started, so it should still be whatever is in the title. I forgot what it was. Old Boogie stuff was best. His recent stuff doesn't have the same feel. I mean, his like whole thing was his channel was built on a model that doesn't work in modern YouTube. You need 10-minute long videos. And his stick that got him popular doesn't work in long videos. And he's not really smart enough to make a transition to something else. Love you. Why, thank you. Have you tried just raw gold farming? Yeah, that's what I'm going to do after I'm done with this. What are you doing for gold making at the moment, brother? Been watching reviews for the last 5 to 6 years. Oh, I'm doing like everything I can think of. I do auction house stuff and raw gold farms, mainly. What country do you prefer, a semester abroad? Japan, South Korea, Thailand? All 3 of those sound good. I hear there's this one city in Thailand that's a must go to for tourists. But also, you know, don't visit anyone's families out in the countryside type thing. So happy to finally catch you live. Hype for Shadowlands? Heck yeah. I'm in the Shadowlands alpha, but I'm more interested in farming gold than trying that. Okay, now I can probably convert my shit into pants and just vendor those. Actually, how much explosium do I have? I should probably convert that into crystals as well. What is your fastest time of obtaining 1 million gold? Shit, I don't know. It usually takes a couple months to earn every million. How do you make so much gold? I'll make a video about it once I hit 5 million. Coke, Pepsi, or water? I definitely prefer Coke. I also really like Pepsi. But I drink the most water. Because soda's bad for you. And I have to stop doing things that are bad for me constantly. Deep sea satin is still expensive as shit, but I need it. How much explosive do I have? I'll just calculate how much I need. Have you ever wondered what you would look like at 600 pounds? No, I don't think I've ever wondered that. Let's see. Explosium. I only have 19? I thought I had more than that. Hey Fury, I'm almost 4.7 million gold away from Longboy. Care to be generous? Heck no. Get your own gold. Let's see, if I have 19 and you need 22 per pants, and I have 18 in my bags, that's 22 times 19. I need 418 and I have 18 of them, so I just need 400 exactly. Okay, that works.
Glad I can help.
Unless I'm missing some other cost I need. What is the name of that blue fox mount? It's one of the store mounts. I don't actually know what its name is. What's your go-to raw gold farm? Botanica with all the bots? You just farm old gates? My go-to raw gold farm is Blackrock Foundry. It's fast and gives you a lot of gold. And I never actually have ever completed all 4 difficulties on all my characters. Because I just don't have free time. Being able to do nothing but raw gold farms is something for free time. I have to, like, meticulously plan all of my time that I can play in the game. And I have to see what's most worth my time. And what I found is that almost nothing is worth my time. All of it sucks. So it doesn't really matter. Ooh. You can convert 5 mana crystals into a veiled crystal. That's a lot of prismatic mana pearls. I think I'll go do that. Why did I go on this character again? Alright, I was gonna make some pants. I was gonna make 19 of these. Oh, bracers, I mean. What do you main currently? I'm on my main right now. It's my Discipline Priest. First time on YouTube, cool to see one. What's up? What's your favorite anime? I don't know. That's like asking what is your favorite child. Impossible. But low-key, everyone has one. I think mine's probably The World God Only Knows. Do you have the Iron Hoof Destroyer from there? No. I don't think so. Iron... Yeah, I don't have that. Okay. I'll disenchant those later. There's no real reason to do that now. What I should do is go knock these out real quick, because that's some good gold right there. There we go. Return to the seal. I am at the seal. I just need 3.1 million gold to get my longboy. Wow. You're almost there. I need to go get my follower to make combat easier. The one who doesn't pull half the room every time you attack something. What's the first game you remember playing? I have no idea. Mario, Donkey Kong, or Metroid, probably.
Hello, friend.
It's right there. I just need 4.75 million gold. Make more gold. Easy peasy. Hey here, excited for you to get your 5 million gold. Me too. Wonder if I can get it on stream. That would be sweet.
This should be an entertaining test of skill.
This is a really hard world quest.
Arcade keeps us safe for now, but someday we'll return.
God damn it. I hate when these people don't have auto accept on.
Will just be a bad
Maybe you can't have auto accept for this one. Champion, Spear of the Ice. Favorite raid? My favorite raid is probably the Battle for Dazar'alor. It used to be Blackrock Foundry, but Dazar'alor is just so good. I need to make an updated video on it. There we go. It took you long enough to invite me. Whoa. Was that little ice wall thing something she did? Or was it something a character did? Because that was cool. Missiles at each player. Yeah, it's something she did. That ability was too cool for a normal player to have. Did you play Zoo Tycoon 2? I had one of the Zoo Tycoons for my DS. I thought that game was pretty neat. Neat enough to buy it.
So willing to die in my name, and so many others eager to
Hello, hero. Hello. Just buy WoW tokens, LMAO. Well, I mean, I could just buy WoW tokens and get it over with. However, I plan on having a video about it. So getting it over with isn't really necessary. I had 100k when I started in March. You could easily finish that up. You just gotta stop being lazy. You ever play Soul Reaver? Fairly Kino Demon Hunters remind me of it. No, I've never heard of that. Oh shit, I died. Oopsie doopsie. If this guy can kill me in one hit, why do I have Curse of Doom on my bars? Whatever. Should I come back to WoW now or when the new expansion comes out? Depends what you want to do. Do you just want to play the new content? Then yeah, wait for the new expansion. Is there anything else you want to do in WoW? Then coming back now, it's a great time. Because there's a lot to do. Damn it, don't kill me. Do you like simulation games? Not really. I don't even know if I like video games anymore. What do you think about seeing Arthas back in Shadowlands? We haven't seen Arthas back. You crazy.
Can I do anything for you?
Great way to get a lot of gold. Farming Warlords of Draenor raids. It's a good way to get some raw gold farming since the auction house is crap right now. Hey, here, just joined. What are you doing? How are you doing with the gold? I don't think I've actually increased my gold amount since the stream started. I might have actually lost gold since I bought some materials. Here, quick tip please. How do I get into pet battles? Hazelnutty Games, another YouTuber, has a really good video called How to Get Into Pet Battles for Brand New Players. The cool thing about pet battles is like they don't update with every expansion. So even though the video was probably made back in Warlords or Legion, it's still valid to this day. Collect 10 void thingies. Okie dokie. Do 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 do. How much latency do you have? None. Why, is the stream lagging? It shouldn't be. Do you like orcas? I like them about just as much as I like sewing. Which means I don't really care. Oh my god, this has a low drop chance. Ugh. Why are Nazjatar World Quests the worst? Like, all the mobs have too much health and they all take too long. I remember now why I avoid this place. Seriously, you gotta get 10 of these and they have a low drop chance? What the hell? Only in Nazjatar will you find a world quest like this. Hey here, have you played Baldur's Gate? No. I want to play the new Baldur's Gate that's coming out though. That looks fun. Looks a lot like Divinity 2. And I like Divinity. I should probably finish it one of these days. It will not be Shadowlands too many nerfs, right? Easy pet battle strategies. Yeah, I guess they're nerfing a lot of the easy pet battle strategies. Because they're reducing the amount of damage Flock does. So far, that's the only change that really affects easy pet battle strategies. And there's other strategies you can use. It's just like those ones are usually the most efficient. And they're easy to get the points for. The reason they're making that nerf is so that people will stop using it because it's the best. But there are other methods. Oh my god. Hey hero, roll for initiative. Oh my god. Is making videos your main source of income? Yeah. See, the thing is, I run 2 channels that do well. So like, I have the WoW channel, and then I have another channel that actually does a little bit better. And the WoW channel itself does really well. Mortal Kombat got you caged. I want to play new Baldur's Gate because it's using the 5e D&D system. Yeah, that'd be fun to play something like Divinity that also uses D&D rules, because I'm much more familiar with those. Oh my god, I still haven't finished this quest. Yu-Gi-Oh! For your other channel. Yeah, the other channel is a Yu-Gi-Oh! Channel. It's called The Duel Logs. Looks like a copy paste and upgrades of Divinity 2. Hey, Divinity 2 is great. Like, you know, if I like games, I like copies of that game as well. Like, I'm a big fan of Metroid Fusion. It's like a Game Boy game. And I love games that copy Metroid Fusion. Like, there's a whole genre of Metroidvanias. And Metroidvania is a combination of Metroid games and Castlevania. A game can be called a Metroidvania if it has similarities to either one of those games. And I vastly prefer games that are copies of Metroid rather than the Vania part. So whenever I try them out, I'll be like, oh shit, this one's a copy of Castlevania. Not my cup of tea. I was like, ooh, this one's very Metroid-like. I'll be much more interested in that. This one is incredibly tangled. I need my full concentration to finish this one up. Holy shit. Oops, that wasn't a good idea. Let's get this one down over here. Let's get that one over there. Let's move those two around. This one is connected to that, which is connected to that. There we go. That was a doozy. Who is your, but why does he have a gate and why is he bad? What? If making his videos your main source of income, how do you not have time to play a game that you make videos about? Because making videos is super time consuming. And very little of that involves actually playing the game. Like, for my Yu-Gi-Oh channel, I'll go like weeks or months at a time without playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And still release like 5 videos a week. Like, video making about video games doesn't really require you to play that video game. That's why, like, you know, Belluar, I don't think he even plays WoW anymore, but he still puts out videos like every other day. And the amount of time that goes into it is just insane. Like, I hire 4 editors. Just because, like, I can't keep up with the amount of videos I make without it. I just don't have enough time in the day. So, like, most of my time is spent just creating videos for them to put together. Like, I, you know, create the script, I tell them where to put everything inside the video, and then I give them all the materials for that video, and then I give them to them, and then they give it to me a couple days later after they spent the enormous amount of time it takes to actually put it together. All those little tiny effects really add up. I'd say the average video has a combined total of like 10 to 12 hours put into it. And I release like 3 to 5 fully edited videos a week across the 2 channels. And I don't have enough time in the day to do that all myself. Okay. That took a lot longer than I thought it would. Let's convert those into crystals. Metroid WoW has just been announced by Thrall. Oh right, Metroidvanias. I should probably buy this one of these days. But for now, these crystals, man, that's such a tiny amount of crystals. Is there a way to see how many crystals I have on my other characters? Maybe on Altaholic? Bag usage, currency, Azurite fragments, boar supplies, seafarers doubloons, seals, garrison resources. I don't care about resources. These suck. I don't know how to use this. I want to see how many mana crystals everyone has. Where are you from? I'm from the US. Well, whatever. Alright, what to do next? You and your editors do a really nice job. Why, thank you. Occasionally I'll have to make a video myself, though. Like, the video I put out today was one I made because I didn't have a video from one of my editors this week. Like, one of my editors is taking a break, so he has a video to work on. He's been working on it for like the past 2 or 3 weeks. He also just has his own channel, so he's been working on that instead. The other editor I have is finally going to work on a video. But usually he doesn't work. So I've had to start asking one of my other editors who usually works on the Yu-Gi-Oh channel to make one. And he's the one who put the video together for me last week. which is doing really well.
What has the wind brought?
I did that one in a new style that I wasn't sure would actually do well or not.
Ride the wind.
And since the video did so well and no one really noticed the different editing style, I can give him more videos in the future. But that still takes a lot of time to set up. And this week I had to make my own video, which really cuts into setting up videos for the editors. Because like the video I released, even though it was like, what, 5 minutes long, and I had the script already half written,
Stands.
it still took me like 4 to 5 hours to put together. Just because there's a lot of things that happen when you edit. You know, you have to account for the amount of times the stupid program crashes on you, or you run into a problem that you didn't expect. Or you try to get footage of something that you can't get footage of, so you waste 30 minutes on it. All those little things add up. Okay, let's go Blackrock. Wait, before I go, I need to put on my farming set. Farming. Speed. I am speed. I am bananas. Longstrider. I think I got a Longstrider, right? Nope, I did not. I still need a shoulder piece that has Longstrider on it. Oh boy, and Longstrider. Okay, I guess this works for now. I would like a new weapon too. Time to go. I think Flying Buttress said he was taking a small break on his channel. Yeah, Flying Buttress, he has a video to work on too. But he's taking a small little break. Your thoughts? Why the F do they keep remastering games? Constant releases of old games instead of trying to be fresh ideas from the gaming market? Hey, people like remakes. I'm gonna remake some of my videos too. Raid difficulty, normal. Dungeon difficulty, normal. Why is there a bunch of people out here? Hey here, have you played Curse of Strahd? I have not, but I am currently watching the playthrough of it on that one dude's channel. I forget his name. The Puffin Forest. Fat Boo, what are you doing? The Coffin joke? I haven't told the Coffin joke in a while. Did your Yu-Gi-Oh editor do the trinket video? Yeah, I had one of my Yu-Gi-Oh editors do the trinket video. He actually knows more about WoW than he does Yu-Gi-Oh. Like, the two Yu-Gi-Oh editors I have don't actually play the game. All they know about Yu-Gi-Oh is from what they've learned from making the videos I give them. Which is not much because I tell them where to put everything. Can you please send me 3 million gold? Only if you send me 5 million first. Is work coming to the game now or waiting for Shadowlands? It all depends on what you want to do in the game. If you're the kind of person who only likes to explore new content, then yeah, just wait. But when did you stop playing the game? At the beginning of BfA? Did you not play anything in BfA? Then there's a lot to do. You know, it all depends on what you like to do, though. Do you like to, most WoW players I've seen like to just progress in the newest raid, and then once they're done with that, that's it. But if you don't have a raid group, then you're kind of restricted to just pugs or LFR or finding a raid group, and there's always people recruiting. There's lots to do in WoW depending on what goals you make for yourself. But like, if you don't want to do anything, you know, it's like, why are you making gold if you don't play the game? Or why are you farming out pets or mounts if you don't play the game normally? You know, it's kind of like, I'm sure other MMOs like Final Fantasy or Black Desert, they probably have tons of sandboxy things to do in the game. Like a whole bunch of things you can choose to do rather than endgame content. But if you don't, like, do endgame content, or care about that stuff, why would you do the other things? There has to be something in the game that you care about in order to want to do the side things. You don't play a game for the side things themselves. So, like, the only reason I'm getting 5 million gold is because I'm confident I'm going to play the game in Shadowlands as well. If I wasn't, then I wouldn't bother. Confident I'm also going to be raiding too. Even if the raid team breaks apart, I'll just find a new one.
The sooner we finish our work, the sooner we crush our enemies. Sorga.
Those are all the things you have to keep in mind, and those things are different for everyone. Most of the time, it's generally people just like to raid. But there's also people only PvP or only do Mythic Plus. I'd say that more people are raiders though than the other thing.
Let's see how well you trained our soldiers.
That was deep. Next April Fool's Day, are you gonna do Sylvanas Nothing Wrong video? I already did that video. I can do another one. I like making videos about Sylvanas. Which of the videos do you think is the best edited? Probably top 10 hardest raid bosses reforged. That's just like the best video on my channel. It has the most amount of research and editing put into it than any other video. Although, if you want to talk about like which videos look the best, you know, just because the video has lots of editing in it doesn't mean it looks better than the others. Like, the video has lots of editing because the video is 50 minutes long. Like, of course, a highly edited video that's 50 minutes long is going to have the most amount of editing in it. But does it look the best? Probably not. The best looking videos are probably the ones that were made by Captain Grimm. Like, there's a handful of top 10s on the channel that were made by him. You know, because he used to be my editor before his channel took off. Well, one of my editors. Those are definitely the best looking videos on the channel. Make another video on Sylvanas, please? I'd love to make another video on Sylvanas. I'll make one on, like, why Sylvanas is not a Mary Sue. And be like, here we go. This is why she's not a Mary Sue, but also here's why people don't like her anyway. You know, and then just go over all of the things she does and why people don't like her, why she's too involved in the story, why people don't like Nathanos and blah blah blah. But then end it all with, she's not a Mary Sue, but there are lots of unlikable things about her nonetheless. Otherwise people get mad. I don't make videos to make people mad. That's not my thing. However, I am definitely up for making a video that has an unpopular topic in order to get views. Only if I actually have something good to say on it, though. Like, if I'm not an expert on the topic, I ain't gonna say anything. I happen to be an expert on Sylvanas, though. Nami did nothing wrong. No one knows who Nami is. Some people just like farming in WoW and it allows you to farm a lot. I'm sure there's some people who like to farm, but most of them who do nothing else but farm eventually quit. I know this as someone who's been a long-time user of the auction house and, you know, peruses the gold-making community. I remember back in Cataclysm, when I was super into the auction house, there was this one gold blogging website who would interview people who made 1 million gold, which used to be a very hard thing to do back in the day. And one of the people he interviewed was someone whose job was basically like security, and they sat in a box all day, and they were allowed to play WoW, but they weren't allowed to do anything like raid or PvP. They had to be able to stop playing at a moment's notice. So what they did was they would just farm herbs and ore all day, every day. And he enjoyed doing it. And he did so much, he made 1 million gold, which was insane at the time. No one made 1 million gold by just farming ores and herbs. But this guy had so much time to do it, he was able to accomplish that feat. Like, the equivalent today would be, you know, making 5 million. Imagine making 5 million by only farming ores and herbs on one character without multi-boxing. That would take a long time. And this guy, since he didn't do anything else in the game, he eventually just quit once he made 1 million gold. He's like, yeah, I don't really have a reason to play the game anymore. I just did it because I used to play it, you know, and I had the free time. But like, if you don't do anything else in the game, there's no real reason to take part in the side objectives. What's your highest item level character? I think 450. I'm not 100% sure. Sylvanas loyalist here. See, Sylvanas not a Mary Sue. She played the Horde like a damn fiddle and used it for her own personal gain in order to get more power. I mean, like, The thing with Mary Sue's is they're perfect characters who are good at everything without flaws. And the one thing that disqualifies Sylvanas from that is that she has like a mountain of flaws. There's so much wrong with her. She does so many stupid things that she definitely doesn't qualify for it based on like the whole flaw factor alone. Like, that is a big thing about Mary Sue's. They have to be good at everything, sure, but they also have to like not be not good at stuff. They need to lack flaws. A lack of flaws makes for some really terrible characters. Sylvanas has flaws in spade, though. She's an incredibly flawed character. But, you know, you say all those things, but do you have any concrete examples? Sure, I have a few, which would be detailed in a video if I ever made it, but I don't really... That's not a priority. I have a long list of videos to make instead. I could show you the list. Let me bring up the list. I even have it color-coded. Let me bring up my Trello page. Trello. You need to promise not to tell anyone else about these ideas, though, because ideas are sacred. You're not allowed to share ideas. Let's see. Desktop. Boards, WoW videos. These are all my WoW ideas. Color-coded. A green one means the video will probably will do well, or that it's good to go, or that I like it. A blue color code means I have work done on it. So most of these only have one color on them because I rate them in how well I think it will do or how good I think the idea is. And then the blue is whether or not I actually have any work done on it. And as you can see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 video ideas that have a blue marker on it, which means there's already work done on it. Like, some of them have the work in here. No, this one doesn't. Yeah, see, look, I already have a list in here. So, like, I forgot why I brought this up. Oh, right, the whole Sylvanas thing. Like, sure, I could do the Sylvanas video, but, like, I have all of these other things to work on first that are much higher priority and that already have a whole bunch of work done on them. So, do I really want to make a video that's just going to piss off people when I can work on so many other things instead? That's what I have to think about. Especially since a video like that, I'd have to make it myself. I'd have to do all the editing myself because I don't know if any of my editors would be able to do a very creatively edited video like that. For like the top 10s and stuff, I have like a system in place and they can just copy that system so it looks like my editing. Or in the case of like Flying Buttress or Captain Grimm, I specifically hired them because I like their style. So they're allowed to do whatever they want. But also, I only want to give them videos that will do well because of that. Because people will react and post anger react. The thing is, like, people just don't like Sylvanas and they don't really care about the facts. They just want to be mad and they want reasons to justify their anger. You know, here's the thing with emotions. You can feel a certain way about something but not understand like the root cause of those emotions, which is perfectly normal. You know, words are just a way to express our ideas and emotions to other people. So we just use the first thing we can think of. And people just don't like Sylvanas, so sometimes they'll call her Mary Sue. Sometimes they say other things, but they just want a reason to, you know, justify those, not justify, a way to express those thoughts and ideas. And calling her a Mary Sue is just a way to make sense of their dislike. That doesn't mean they still don't dislike her, even if they were proved that, hey, she's not really Mary Sue. It's just like, well, sure, whatever, but I still don't like her. So it's not really something that's necessary. It's not even a big deal. Who cares if people think she's a Mary Sue? They just don't like her. And there were some parts of Mary Sue's that they feel applies to her, which is legitimate. I mean, she did genocide a whole race. True, but also that's part of the reason people like her. You know, lots of reasons people don't like her are also the exact reasons people do like her. That's the dichotomy of Sylvanas. Snake me up. I hate that bitch. Have you fixed your internet with the cable yet? I remember your stream a few ago. You said you were an STV. Yeah. My internet's good now. I also have a good computer too. I am just not good at setting up how to make the stream look better. I am like really dumb when it comes to computer stuff. Does people really like her? Yeah, Sylvanas legitimately has a fan base. People legitimately like her. People legitimately like her for the bad things she does. Like, have you ever heard of this little known character called the Joker? It's from a DC Marvel series called The Batman, which is probably not very well known. But anyway, the Joker is a villain in this little known series, and he is an incredibly popular villain to the point where they even made a movie all about him, which people like more than a lot of the Batman movies. And the Joker is what we call a villain who does bad things for bad reasons. And he's very popular because he does those things. So, a character who does bad things can definitely still have a fan base and be very well liked, even though they do bad things. I know it's hard to believe, but from that little known series called The Batman, we also have another example of this happening, which is a lot more mainstream, actually. But the Joker isn't the chief of an entire nation. Still a bad guy. Like, I mean, you can split hairs all you want. I'm not talking about specifics here. How can you see the difference between a male and Volpera? They kind of look the same. I never thought of that. I have a male Volpera, but you probably wouldn't know unless I, like, took off his armor. I am in the Sylvanas fan base. Yeah, Sylvanas. Like, not only is she an interesting villain, she's also an attractive villain. Like, I don't know if you've ever been part of the anime community before, but, you know, there's a huge subset of people online who just like girls that are attractive, especially in media. And if the character is both attractive and, you know, a good character, which doesn't have to mean they're morally good, then that's just like so much waifu bait for people. There's like whole industries that are built around waifu bait. Like, the reason Sylvanas has a fan base are not super surprising. The fact that she does bad things isn't even really a big deal to them. In fact, that's probably the reason some people like her. She a dead body, though. Imagine the smell. I mean, sure, you could say she's a dead body, but the way she's depicted in art doesn't really show any of that decay, especially since, canonically speaking, she actually has a very well put together body when compared to other undeads. They even had like a whole short story about it, explaining that. Hello, Haruma Smexy. Hey look, it's the guy who rarely uploads videos. What's up, Kakio? Long time no see. Whoa, you're telling me people like attractive women no matter how bad their character is? No, I did not say that. I said the fact that she's attractive adds to the fact that people like her. There are plenty of forgettable characters that people don't give a shit about that are also attractive. That's more like a bonus. Oh, Kakio is here. Rarely? Prove me wrong, Kakio. I feel like Sylvanas is Blizzard's bitch because she always wins against everyone. She has lots of reasons why she wins, though. The only people who complain about her wins are people who just don't know anything about her character. Or who don't like her and just like to complain about everything about her. Like, they literally cannot foreshadow her wins more than they had. They have over-explained all of her accomplishments to the point where it's kind of excessive. And even then, people just don't know anything about lore and complain about it because they just don't know what they're talking about. Like, if I was going to create a character that was super powerful and a villain, I don't know if I could foreshadow them more than what Blizzard did with Sylvanas. Like, if you were going to make a writing guide on how to accomplish Sylvanas' character, they'd probably go over everything they did do with Sylvanas. She wins, she died twice, but came back. She's also lost plenty of battles, that's true. Honest opinion, Sylvanas has always been very interesting. The thing she did was always for good reasons, from her perspective. In BfA, they made her more full mental, but I hope they make her sane again. She's always been kind of crazy. Everything she's been doing is kind of in character. The only thing that was definitely iffy was, you know, telling the Horde they're nothing during the Mont Gara. That was kind of stupid. I'll give you that. Do you think Blizzard should add a Necromancer class for the expansion and have the class trainer be Gunther? Yes. I've been advocating for that for years. Alliance babies complaining about Horde favoritism too? I'd say there's an equal amount of love for both of them. Here, what's your playtime? Let me see. 1 day, 12 hours. You could say I'm pretty hardcore. I'm gonna do Hellfire Citadel next. How much gold did I make from that? 2,000. Neat. Let's see, nearest flight point is over here. Nearest flight point towards Tannin Jungle is over here, though. She lost her random corpse in Silver Pine. Yup. Well, she got shot in the back of the head before she had superpowers, so... You know. Joker is probably because the opposite of Batman. They both have tragic backstory. The difference is that Batman began to help people after the Joker. The opposite. Joker doesn't have an established backstory. That's wrong, actually. He just makes up shit to mess with people. So whether he has a tragic backstory or not is kind of going against the character of Joker to an extent. You want a tragic backstory? Look at Sylvanas. She's got a tragic backstory in spades. Alright, while I fly to Tannin, I will BRB. Okay, I'm back. I should say, I like some of the Alliance characters, too. You want to see what my screensaver is on this? Here. You see this? Whenever WoW isn't open, it shows a picture of Jaina on here. Jaina is like one of my favorite characters. Hi, back. I'm Welts. Hello, Welts. I've never heard of you before. You must be new. Titties, yay! Pfft, that ain't a titty Jaina picture. You want to see a titty Jaina picture? Well, there's not really too many on the internet. It's all very respectable. Pretty much all of it. I'd be hard-pressed to find anyone trying to lewd Jaina. I don't think it exists, to be perfectly honest. Hi, yes, I'm new. Can I have mod? No. What add-on is selling your old raid loot automatically? That one, AVK/AVK, that's called Aardvark. I have to set it up. I literally just have all gear from Blackrock Foundry and Hellfire Citadel set up to be auto-sold. Takes a couple of runs to get all the gear. Fuck, I hate doing Hellfire Assault. You have to literally kill like every single trash pack in this room in order to start the fight. I think he's lying to us, guys. What am I lying about? You know, I have to be careful. I'm not going to just start admitting to things, you know. About Jaina? Is that what it is? I like Tyrande too. Like, I'm making this video called the top 10 strongest faction leaders. And I'm having a whole bunch of art commissioned to show things that don't exist in games. And a lot of it is alliance leaders. Like, I specifically commissioned pieces of art to show Malfurion throwing Sylvanas through the woods. Like he's some kind of anime protagonist, because that's what happens. Malfurion is, like, super strong. And none of that exists in games, so I'm getting some of the pictures drawn so that it'll be able to show it better. I also have, like, it took a while to commission this, to get it right, but like a picture of Velen calling an orbital strike from the Vindicar. That one's gonna look cool. Because Velen, low-key, is probably the strongest faction leader, if you include technology. Like, not only does he have strong light magic, but he also has orbital strikes. Orbital strikes are OP. He should be able to, you know, win any fight because of his orbital strikes. What is your GPU and CPU? I don't know. Thanks for the $2, JT. GPU. What's a GPU? I'm stupid when it comes to computers. I did build this computer like a couple months ago, so it's pretty new. But I had like one of my fans pick out all the parts because I don't know what I'm doing. Just think, like, it's one of the best that you can find that's also not incredibly expensive. Villain calling down the AR-130. Ooh, I should show you the drawing. I, like, have it. Like, I have the whatchamacallit. The rough drafts. I'll bring up the rough drafts and show them to you, because they look pretty cool. Hold up while I set up the rough drafts. GPU's graphics card? Oh, I think I have a 2080. If that's a thing. Let's see. Here's Velen orbital strikes. Look at that. That's the Vindicar. That's the orbital strike. This is the planet it's attacking. This is Velen on the side. The original one, I literally just like had this document, was like, do this but with this. Is he T-posing? Kind of. That's his image from the Hearthstone card. This is just to show that Velen is calling down an orbital strike. And then we have Malfurion versus Sylvanas, the animate powers. You can see him holding her in a chokehold. And the next scene, he throws her 20 feet through a tree. And then another one of Malfurion walking into the inn when he's fighting Sourfang. And then just calls a whole bunch of vines in order to completely engulf the inn, which he then collapses on top of him. He doesn't die, though. He gets saved at the last second by Sylvanas. But Malfurion was a huge badass in this scene. Like, Sourfang was so scared of him, he basically just accepted he was going to die, and he just wanted to buy time for his other people to escape. Because there's just no fighting Malfurion. And then this is when Jaina uses her water elementals to destroy Orgrimmar. Because of course that's going to get talked about. The waves themselves are created of water elementals. But then she gets talked out of doing it by Thrall riding Caligos. And I think those are the only alliance-centric ones I got created. What's this one? Oh, it's just another Sylvanas versus Malfurion, in which he just like hurls her 20 feet through the air because he's super strong as well. Ooh woo. You should do Gon versus Pito and Malfurion versus Sylvanas. Oh my god, that reminds me. I have an anime reference. I gotta open that back up. Control T, Control T. Here, I gotta show you this. This is cool. I gotta open it back up because I closed it. Okay, I got it. I got it. Alright, so this part over here. So, for those of you who don't know, there's this Cathraxi called, like, Mithrax. You fight him in Uldir. And he's like the boss right before, whatchamacallit, Gahoon, I think his name is. And Cathraxian lore are super powerful. Like, so strong that you probably don't even notice that they're such a big deal because you fight them as bosses all the times in raids. And this one has lore where it fights a wild god known as Loas to the trolls. And the snake Loa in Vol'dun basically like wrapped herself around him and then blew herself up and created Vol'dun. Like, that's the reason it's a desert, is because she blew herself up. So I had him drawn in the Yamcha pose. Mithrax. Yeah, I think his name is Mithrax. And even then, after she blew herself up, he still didn't, like, his body still existed. He just kind of temporarily died. In order to show that, I specifically told her to draw Mithrax in the Yamcha pose. Yamcha. Because I'm gonna, talk about Mithrax in the thing. Because Cathraxi are super strong. That's funny that you mentioned the Pito versus Gon thing. I was like, that's a good idea. Like, I definitely had her draw something based on an anime reference, but I didn't even think about Pito versus Gon. That'd be a really good idea. Control-Shift-Tab will reopen the automatically closed tab. Yeah, I know, that's what I did. It still takes me a while to, like, resize the window, though, and swap to it. I just had to, like, reopen the tab and then move it over and then resize it because it starts as a tiny-ass window. And then move it over to the thing. Mithrax the Unraveler. Hero being a weeb. Yeah, like, I am a huge anime fan. Whenever I talk to the representatives for Crunchyroll, for like the ad spots, I basically have to tell them what would be more appropriate for the video. It's like, yeah, see, this new anime that's coming out would really fit well with the video I'm doing because it has these themes in it. They're like, oh, wow, we didn't know that. Who's your favorite old god? N'Zoth. Into the Zoth. Because he's the OG. I like iShield 21. Well, then you would like what this channel's name is based off of. Anime or hentis? What's hentis? I don't know what you're talking about. Chad Velen versus Virgin Sylvanas. I mean, Sylvanas is high in the list too. It's just there's lots of in-game material of Sylvanas being a badass, so I don't need to get drawings done of them. Whereas there isn't anything in-game about Velen's orbital strikes or Malfurion throwing Sylvanas through the trees. Like some kind of anime battle. Shit, did I do the wrong one? No, I did the right one. Have you ever watched the anime Monster? No, I read the manga instead. It's alright. I think it's kind of overhyped, to be honest. Like, the whole idea behind Monster is the doctor needs to kill the patient he saved because he's too charismatic. And he'll basically become like the next Hitler. They keep really hammering this home. But we never see him being charismatic. It's one of those cases like, you know, what if there's a really smart character and we're just constantly told they're smart or they did smart things, but you never actually see them being smart? That's kind of what the main character in the main antagonist. The whole idea of the thing is to go against this super charismatic and smart person, and we're only ever told how charismatic and smart he is. We're never actually shown it. So it really, like, I don't care when he finally gets killed in the end. And the entire thing is about it. It's really good. It's just like the main villain, the entire thing the whole manga is based off of, is such a letdown because we're never actually shown him being all these super powerful things. Everybody talks about him. You know, they constantly jerk him off as like the most smartest and charismatic person ever, and that's why he's so bad. But we've never actually shown any of it. Johan doesn't kill the one detective, convinces him to kill himself. Yeah, we're only ever shown all this. Like, how does he do that? Who knows? He just does it because he's so smart and charismatic. It's like, bullshit. That's just lazy writing. That's the main problem I have with Johan, is they just tell us all of the things he's done without showing any of it. Like, oh, he's so smart, he got all these people to just start working for him even though he just met them. It's like, uh-huh, of course he did, because he has magic, right? They don't ever show him doing any of his accomplishments. They just tell us about it after the fact. Anime or hero? I do both. I think I watch and read an equal amount of anime and manga. Dude, Warcraft would make such an amazing Western anime. Yeah, I think so too. Especially if they adapt the story correctly. And they don't do what they did with the Warcraft movie. He dresses like his twin sister and plays mind games with the guy. You see that at least? He, that's not enough. They talk him up as this super impressive person. And we're never shown him doing any of these super impressive things. Just little small nuggets of neat things that kind of pale into comparison to something like Light from Death Note. He's definitely accomplished more, even though he was more of a put things into motion kind of guy rather than doing them himself. But Light did like 10 times more things on screen than Johan does. Do you like Torghast? Yeah, Torghast is pretty fun. I think people will really like that feature when it comes out. What do you think of Gen Greymane? He's one of my favorites too. Mainly because I play him a lot in Heroes of the Storm. If it wasn't for Heroes of the Storm, I don't think I'd give a shit about Gen Greymane. But I really like playing him in Heroes of the Storm, so that made me like him as a character as well. And that's why my most played Alliance character is a Worgen. Do you have an anime list to watch? I do. It's actually in the video description of the stream. If you want to look it up. I haven't updated it though, like in a year. Because Gyarados would just punch them into unity. Only anime I've seen is Pokemon. True fan. Is Pokemon even a real anime? What are you farming? Gold. I'm just going in here to get gold from bosses and then vendor all the loot. This is what we call, ladies and gentlemen, a raw gold farm. He's OP and hot. I don't know if he's OP, but he's definitely fun to play. I really like his style of shifting into human and Worgen form. Like, it works so well in HOTS that, like, there's no way they could replicate that in WoW. It's like the Worgen human dynamic was created for a MOBA. And it just doesn't work in an MMO. It's more of an aesthetic. But then again, that's how most races are. Because, like, with Gen Greymane, you have to swap to human form in order to be able to use ranged attacks, because he pulls out his rifle and just shoots people. And you have to swap into Worgen form in order to, like, go into melee and just pound people's posteriors in. And he has different abilities that swap depending on which form he's in. And swapping into forms is an actual, like, benefit. Like, swapping into Worgen form charges you on the target and puts you in melee range. And swapping back into human form is basically like a hunter's disengage. Which is like such a good way to do it. If you want to go into Worgen form, you just do a warrior's charge and you're in it. And you're in their face and you do extra damage. If you want to go back to human form and be at ranged, you literally just do a hunter's disengage and jump backwards and you start shooting. And then you have like different things you can pick depending on which form you want to focus on. Like, if you want to focus on the range spec, there's really good ranged abilities to choose. If you want to focus on the Worgen, there's really good Worgen stuff to choose from. Get crunked. Imagine being in the Discord. No one's in the Discord. Death Note was really boring in my opinion. I mean, I could see it being boring if it was, like, overhyped to you. But, like, when it first came out, that was revolutionary. Everybody loved Death Note. Why don't you loot the mobs? I do loot the mobs. Most mobs don't drop loot, though. Like, you know, if there's nothing to loot, then I'm not going to loot them. I loot everything that does drop loot, though, which is very few of them. We getting 400k Vendrian Hellfire, boys. Yeah, boy. Now, you make about 3,000 gold from a Hellfire Citadel run. It's not half bad. Have to be in the right mood for it, that's too. You know, like, if you only like action shows where they fight each other and talk about the power of friendship, then boy, you're gonna love anime, because there's lots of shows that fill that niche. Death Note's not one of them, though. If that's not really your cup of tea, then I can see you not enjoying it. It's a really good show to suggest to people who don't like anime, though. It's a good introduction, because it's so un-anime-like. Oh, I guess I have missed looting a lot of mobs. Never mind. Let's see. I'll say that in trivia combat and gray level stuff, you should not be shifting to Worgen form in WoW. Worgen form? What? You have to be in Worgen form to do anything in combat. Human form is purely a cosmetic for Worgen. Have you played Deathwing Hero? Yeah, I played Deathwing. I played all the heroes. And, like, my favorites are like a handful of few. There's definitely Greymane's one of my favorite. So was the Lost Vikings and Murky. Basically, I like the ones who play differently. Like, my go-to if I'm ever playing with fans is to play Lost Vikings, because I can, like, carry a low-skilled team so hard with them, since they can just farm so much experience, that it's fun. I remember I used Lost Vikings, I went to BlizzCon last year, and they had this little section in order to showcase Deathwing. And so, obviously, everyone was picking Deathwing, but you got to play with 4 other people. It was a 5v5 match, where you're like sitting next to the people you're playing against. And I knew everyone was going to fight over Deathwing, so I picked Lost Vikings. And we won so hard, I kind of felt bad for the other team. Because we had such a huge level advantage. And whenever we won a team fight, we could feel the other team like get disappointed or bang their desk in frustration. It was so fun. That was like the most fun I had at BlizzCon, was just playing Lost Vikings at the Heroes of the Storm section. I know, but you should be allowed minor combat in human form, I guess. It's more of an aesthetic. It works a lot better in Heroes of the Storm. Have you ever played Dota? I used to play Dota all the time before Heroes came out. Like, literally, once HOTS came out, I quit Dota. Because I thought it was a better game. You know, and all these years later, I start thinking, man, why don't those other games just copy Dota? Not Dota, Heroes of the Storm. HOTS is so much better in my opinion. Like, I've tried League of Legends. I thought it was perfectly fine. I just didn't play it anymore because I was like, well, I already played Dota and I know the meta in Dota and I don't want to have to learn a whole bunch of new things. Like, there's so much you gotta learn when you start a new game. Like, I don't know any of the meta picks. I don't know what any of the heroes do or any of the counters or, like, the map. I just didn't have anything memorized or any of the items. Like, there's so much you need to learn when you play those games. And I already knew all of that stuff in Dota, and it's like, it's basically the same as Dota. And I already know everything in Dota, so I'm not going to swap over to this. But with Heroes of the Storm, the no last hitting is what sold it on me. Like, no last hitting and the emphasis on, like, map objectives. Like, no, not needing to last hit was a huge one for me. Like, I didn't know how much I thought that was annoying until it wasn't there anymore. Because I have, like, I forget. I have like 300 to 400 games played in Dota 2. So I played a lot of Dota. Like, enough to the point where I was totally just used to last hitting. And I didn't know how much I hated it until it was just gone in Heroes of the Storm. And another thing I really liked was they de-emphasized farming a lane for 20 minutes before the real fight started. Because map objectives gave such good rewards that it forced people to leave their lanes and fight. And I was like, oh my god, in Dota, the only reason you got into team fights was if you were like out of position or there was a ganking squad. There was like no reason to actually go out and fight people. But man, these map objectives, it's such a simple thing and it just solves the problem of early games being boring as hell. And after those two things, I was like, you know, I'm not a huge fan of the lack of items. I do actually like the items. But, you know, not last hitting and map objectives just make the game so much better. I do really miss playing Tinker, though. Tinker was my favorite Dota 2 character. His playstyle can't really exist in a game that doesn't have items, though. Because his special ability was to remove the cooldown of items. That's so good. But if there's no items in the game, then there's no real way to copy him. You like share experience? Yeah. That was also something I liked about the game. But it's not like a huge one, like map objectives or lack of last hitting. Like, the whole thing with shared experience solves a problem that I always thought was really stupid in Dota. Was the fact that if you're playing a support character, you're basically, you know, shit out of luck. You're incentivized to not farm in order to babysit the people who are allowed to farm. So you basically just have to be weaker than everyone and run away from everything. You're not allowed to feel powerful or like you're helping. Because that's taking away from the real people who need that stuff. So you just constantly have less gold than everyone and you're constantly getting ganked. And people yell at you because you're weaker than everyone else. It's like, man, if the enemy team breathes in my direction, I'm dead. Like, supports are treated like shit in Dota. But in a game where there's shared experience, they're just as powerful as the rest of the party. That's such a good way to solve the problem of, you know, supports being terrible to play. There's just so many, like, not so many. There's a couple of things that are fundamentally broken about the system of modern MOBAs within Dota 2 and League. And I think Heroes of the Storm just kind of fixes them. Some things different. Ner'zhul's wiping alive for some reason. Events probably would have played out similarly. Yeah, it's like, there's lots of convenient differences. Do you use gold for WoW tokens? No. I use gold in order to buy things for gold. AP Teemo, only Teemo, garbage Teemo. Mental bounty runes and GPM talents. Do you still play Classic? I haven't really played Classic in a while. Mainly because if I have free time, I'm spending it making it gold in retail. So once I hit my goal, I can finally play Classic again. You know, hero manga about super supportive, being weaker than the rest of the party and treated like trash. What? I'm sure there's lots of, like, revenge stories that do that. How much gold do you get from LFR, normal, mythic, from WoD raids? Really depends on the raid. With Hellfire Citadel, you can make an average of 3,000 gold a run. In Blackrock Foundry, you can make an average of 2,000 gold a run. And either way, it's the equivalent gold of, like, doing an emissary when you get the 2,000 gold. So if there's, like, no World Quest emissaries that give you 2,000 gold, then just running the raids is more efficient use of your time. Especially since the raid lockouts... I should probably mention, just a little warning, I have dogs. They're very quiet. You can't really hear them. Occasionally, you can hear them bark a little bit, though. Anyways, what was I saying? All right, if you have lots of max level characters, you know, you can run Hellfire and Blackrock on the 4 difficulties. That's like 10,000 gold each raid. That's crazy. Why did Iskar betray the outcast, though? Watch my video on the top 10 WoW betrayals in order to learn that answer. He's number 9 on the list. Came out like a month ago. What breed of dogs do you have? They're both mutts. One of them is sadly blind, though, because of his diabetes. On all difficulties? Yeah. That's the average. Like, Mythics will give more, but you can run LFRs faster. But on average, all 4 difficulties of Blackrock Foundry give around 2,000 gold. And all 4 difficulties of Hellfire Citadel give around 3,000 gold, just because it's a bigger raid. 1,500 hours of Smite, I can confirm that, but I mean every MOBA has problems. Yeah, even HOTS has problems. Like, you know, I'm not a fan of the lack of a cash shop. Not a cash shop. I mean, I'm not a fan of the lack of, whatchamacallit, the item shop in-game. I like being able to diversify your characters with the different items. And it kind of feels like a downgrade that they don't have that. And I think the game would greatly benefit if they just added items. Okay, where do I go next? Otherwise, I think everything else about the game is just better than Dota or League. Because I don't like last hitting, and I don't like having to babysit lanes for half the game until the real game starts. Map objectives just make things so much better. No face cam? No. You see, here's the thing with face cams. I think those are only appropriate if you're good looking and it actually adds to your stream. If you're not good looking, then I don't really see a huge point in a face cam. Unfortunately, I do not fit that criteria. Damn it, where do I go next? I think it's not that way. Is it this way? Does LFR drop the same amount of gear? Yeah, roughly. I think LFR actually drops more gear. I bet you look great? Nah. I'm not saying that to fish for compliments. I just started binge watching videos, your old videos again. Still love them? Good, good. If you binge watch my old videos, I'd suggest just watching the Go to Sleep playlist. because it has all of my highly edited videos in there. So it's the best way to binge watch all the videos without having to watch the crap. Because I also don't include my really old videos with my bad mic. Damn it, where do I go? I feel like I missed a boss. I mean, I know I've missed a boss, I just don't know where he's at. Oh, there he is. His name is... this dude, I forget his name. I knew I missed him, I just didn't know where his boss room was at. Because I forgot. Your running, looking is fun to stare at too. What? Are you saying Mad Season show is ugly too? I'm sure Mad Season is a very attractive fellow. All I'm saying is for marketing purposes, it wouldn't benefit my brand to show people what I look like on streams. If you want to know what I look like, you can go ahead and be disappointed and look online. I took pictures with fans at BlizzCon, so you can go ahead and see them there. Leveling routes for alts? I mean, just do quests, I guess. There are ways to level more efficiently, I just don't really do them. Leveling's kind of boring, so I just do whatever's the most fun for me. Do you recommend also running High Mall? High Mall is also good. I just don't like the 5 minutes of RP that start up every High Mall run. Like, there's 5 minutes of unskippable RP at the beginning. And it's like, holy shit, that's too much. After that RP's done, the rest of it goes pretty quickly. But I don't think it's really worth it when I could just run Hellfire Citadel or Blackrock Foundry instead. Where they give you more gold anyway, and I never actually complete them all for the week. Like, I have 4 or 5 characters that can run Hellfire Citadel and Blackrock Foundry no problem. And I've never once completed all 4 difficulties on all my characters. And if I'm ever in the situation where I'm completing all 4 difficulties, then I'll consider adding High Mall to my list as well. Is it worth getting every battle pet? If you want to collect them, sure. If you want, me, myself, I only collect the good ones. I don't really care about collecting everything. Go get him, fat boo. Type in her, and the first thing that shows in Google is Hermerex's face. Yeah, people are very curious about what I look like. There is a picture of me out there. I took a few pictures at BlizzCon, but that was the only one that actually made it out. It's funny, like, you know, no one knows what I look like because I don't show myself in videos and stuff. I remember when I was walking around BlizzCon with Hazel. She's a very recognizable YouTuber. And she's also a lot taller than me as well. So whenever we were walking, we get stopped like every 2 seconds to like talk to a fan or take pictures with him. And after walking for like 5 or 10 minutes and getting stopped like all the time, eventually it's like, yeah, I'm gonna go now. It's like, man, this is crazy. You know, in comparison, I don't get stopped at all. No one knows what I look like. But boy, if I don't get jealous of other people who get stopped. It almost makes me think like, man, I should probably show people what I look like just so I can have the same experience at BlizzCon. And I think, wow, that is an incredibly petty reason to do that. Nah, I'm good. BlizzCon's like, what, couple days a year? I don't think it's really worth lowering the brand of my videos just so people will recognize me at BlizzCon. Has anyone recognized you ever? Yeah, like, the fans who... like, very few and far in between. Like, I had a meet and greet, so the fans who met me in the meet and greet recognized me if they saw me. Or if I went to see another YouTuber and they recognized my voice, But that also happens very rarely as well. So like maybe 1 or 2 times per BlizzCon, in comparison to being stopped like every 5 feet when I was with someone who's a lot more recognizable, like Hazel. Hey Hero, how much gold into the long boy? Good question. Let me sell all this shit real quick. I mean stuff. Let me sell all this stuff. Excuse me, YouTube. Ooh, a BOE. Alright, I need to set this to be auto-vendored. I don't have my list set up completely for Hellfire Citadel yet. I'm still new to this farm. That's why I got lost at that one place. I don't get lost in Blackrock Foundry because I've done that place a million times. But I'm still new to the Hellfire Citadel runs. I don't have my list set up. Okay. What eye levels is Toon? Is HC easy to soul as a hunter? It is real easy to soul as a hunter. He also has a 440 item level. And this is done through World Quest only. Like, this guy has never done a raid, let alone a dungeon. So, like, this is as casual of a geared character as you can get. Like, I still have a whole bunch of blue items. And even my bow, I got it from, like, a World Quest cache. How do I unlock World Quests? You just have to unlock them on one character, I think. And then you got them for all of them. And yeah, I can solo Hellfire Citadel a lot faster on my Hunter than I can on my Priest. Okay, well, I don't like to run the same raid multiple times in a stream. If I was going to be efficient, I would have ran Blackrock Foundry 3 times and then came over here to run this 3 times and then do something else. But what I really need to do is unlock the cloak on my Panda, because they don't let me earn Echoes of Nyalotha anymore unless you have your cloak unlocked. And the only character who I don't have it unlocked on is my Panda, which is my monk. So I'm going to go do that because I need Echoes of Nyalotha. They used to let you earn them, but now they require you to have a cloak to get any more. Which is like, okay, whatever. Cooldown's voice and wand is the same in Legion? Should be. How much do you think an entire Dreadnought armor is set worth? I don't know what Dreadnought armor is. You sound like a WoW-themed Christian Grey. I don't know who Christian Grey is, unfortunately. I'm not very good with names. What's your rarest mount? My rarest mount is probably one of the Vicious Saddle mounts. Because I got that back. Wait, what am I doing? Oh, right, I was going to unlock the cloak on my Panda. What add-on is that? Did you get all the stuff? That one's called Aardvark. How much gold do you make on average per day? Like 10,000? Give or take. Can we see the mount? Sure, I can show you the mount. Vicious Saddle mount. Is it this one? It's one of the ones with a standard. A treatment free-for-all. At War Choose command, horde trainers begin raising wolves to thrive in the shock and Varas. I don't think this is it. Is this it? Ah, here it is. The Vicious Warwolf. This is my rarest mount. Just because vicious mounts are really rare. Because they're hard to get. I got this one back when you needed to win like 75 rated battlegrounds. Which is a lot of weighted battlegrounds to win. But now you can get it by just getting a Vicious Saddle that you get at the end of a PvP season. I got this back when it was hard to get. That's because I used to run Mythic raid. I mean, rated battlegrounds. And let me tell you, after running hundreds of rated battlegrounds, I don't like battlegrounds anymore. I used to love battlegrounds. Doing battlegrounds was one of my favorite things to do in WoW. I ran them so much that I got like the win 100 of each battleground achievement a long time ago. And after I started doing rated battlegrounds, I came to hate them with a passion. Nothing will kill your enjoyment of battlegrounds like doing rated battlegrounds. They are so bad. I have a lot of cool moments from doing all those battlegrounds, but holy shit was it annoying. I came here to get my cloak. Cloak, cloak, 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 cloak. Dailies, leveling, Battle for Azeroth, War Campaign, Horrific Vision, Stormwinds, Intro Quest, Attaining the Heart of Azeroth. I don't need that one. I don't need that one. I don't need that one. Pandaren Race, Zalthas Gamut, Before the Storm. Nope. Horrific Quest, Horrific Quest. Allied Raised, Heart of Azeroth. Empowerment. This is going to walk you through completing the various quest lines associated with the Heart Forge for the Chamber of the Heart. Which one is it? Why Panda? Because he's a monk. Honestly, can you play a monk if he's not a panda? Walk you through the complete guidelines for Chamber of the Heart. Damn it, I don't know which one it is. I need the one that gives me the cloak, but I don't know which one it is. Maybe if I do this. Probably. You must first complete the Intro into the Depths and Magni's Pan leveling guide. Would you like to load it? Yes. Magni's plan. Oh, okay, okay. So, Magni's plan. This is the right one for it. Talk to Valera Sanguinar. Okay. Oh wait, I should probably change my Azerite shirt around. Talents, not talents. My Azerite trait. I should have Breath of Dying. And also, I should remove that. There we go. Are you in a guild? I don't think I'm in a guild on this character, but I am in a guild.
They say you have the heir of the throne.
Let's see, do I have an average on how much I make per day? If I go over to Trade Skill Master, and I look at this for the past 7 days, I can get a pretty good average. No, I can't. So it looks like on one day I made 100,000 gold. And then I lost a whole bunch because I bought a bunch of materials and I just made all the gold back. It's too hard to see an average. Doesn't Zygor break TOS? No. There's like a blue post that confirms as such. Why would you do it like that? It looks like a quest add-on. Why would it do that? What? You think Blizzard tried to change something Shadowlands economy-wise, like reducing gold acquired from drops and such? They already like nerfed the hell out of gold making in BfA.
My loyalties are my own.
You mean to tell me none of your spies?
Let's talk.
You mean to tell me none of your spies click on the portal to Silithus? Okay. Monk should be panda only. Try and change my mind. I can't imagine playing a monk on a non-panda. I do RBGs and BGs a lot. Man, RBGs, if you want to ruin your love of BGs, do rated battlegrounds.
I speak for Azeroth.
I'd like to say anyone who can tolerate them after doing those. It's usually called Black Empire Campaign, I think. I think I got it. Like, if you try to load up a guide and you don't have the prerequisites for it, Zyger will usually tell you, do this guide in order to do this one.
Talon operatives have
So that's all I did. I was like, give me the guide for Horrific Visions, because you have to do the prereq in order to do Horrific Visions.
all known Titan facilities on Azeroth.
I hate how underpowered Uther is in Heroes of the Storm. He used to be a top tier healer. It's just the power of the creep of the game has gotten to the point where he's not top tier anymore. I'd assume. I don't really know what the meta is. Last time I checked, Uther wasn't part of it, though. What's your strategy? Currently, my strategy is just to get this guy his cloak. Where do I need to go?
Inactive. What happened
Accept the halls of origination. Do I need to go over to Silithus?
I think we can all safely assume.
Yeah. I gotta go over here there to tell him I've done this before and I don't want to do it again. I'm not gonna use my cloak when there's a teleporter outside. Andutheon or Rathduin? Oh my god. I've been farming raw gold for mob raids. Warlord's raids are better. Warlord or Draenor raids are the best, actually. But like, if you've already completed all of the Warlord raids for the week, since you can only do each one of them 4 times a week, then I guess you can go over to Mop and Legion raids. Valyria is so hot. True. Blood Elf can look good in Terrazun set. Outside of it, it's Panda or Bust. Pfft, okay. I mean, to be fair, Blood Elves look good in anything, though. Are you really doing a full stream 24 hours every Thursday? No. I've never streamed for like more than 2 hours. Streaming too long hurts my throat. I'm not used to talking so much. Hi, Hero. Hello. Hero, you are a cool guy. My favorite WoW YouTuber. Why, thank you. Wait, where can you find his face? Online. Found the picture of you again, thanks to Felplague for sending it to me, and I can't recognize the sound of your voice with your actual face. I blame the branding of your channel and your profile picture. Yep. I've done a good job at separating my brand from what I actually look like. Because it's better that way. 1,050,000 for me currently. Been selling Vial of Sands. That's a very slow way to make gold. But that is a way you can make gold on in addition to everything else. I do RBGs, get over 2k in every bracket, 2s and 3s, but in BfA patch 8.1 came out. After that, shit, I don't PvP as much. After 8.2, I quit LMAO. Yeah, and PvP in WoW. That used to be my jam. I don't really do it anymore, though. Vulpera Monk or BIS? Are they really?
I'll return to the chamber and start figuring out our next move. Can I afford to lose the forge again?
Oh right, as part of this you have to complete an assault. Goddamn, I forgot. Completing assaults takes so long. Why is everyone trying to find 5 million? Because the Brutosaur mount will be taken away in Shadowlands to no longer be farmable. And if you want to get it, you have to get it now. Besides, I need to net over 200k weekly gold. That's why I'm doing Mop and WOD raids. I mean, if you're also doing the WOD raids, then good. I'm just saying WOD raids are better, and I keep assuming everyone has a limited amount of time like I do. When there's definitely people who can play WoW all day, every day, where, you know, farming all the raids is probably the best. Me and my brother watch you, but I watch your WoW and he watches your other stuff. He watches the Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, I bet.
Your kind are not welcome here. Do you bring new
I should probably do Yu-Gi-Oh streams too.
It would seem you are not the only. We know little of the Amethyst, save that they
In your way, what is the fastest way to get 5 million gold? I have no idea.
in their eyes.
If I knew, I'd be doing it myself.
How may Ramgahan, it is clear, Ramgahan
I will join you.
menaces alone.
I was hoping they would shorten the introduction quest line with the new cloak changes. Yeah, me too.
That we band together.
Instead, they basically force you to do it now. You can no longer get away with just not getting your cloak. Because you can't get Echoes of Nyaloth anymore unless you have it.
Will obey your king. All who would fight for your doom are allies of Ramgahan.
where I find his face is in my DMs with one of his editors, where you have to find his face is somewhere on Twitter in early November of last year. Good luck. Sounds about right. Speak to High Commander Krasmins. Show me the current assault. Oh boy.
Each passing day, new enemies descend upon Uldu. We must drive them from the sands.
Oh boy. Time to do an assault. Oh goody.
But focus on key objectives and enemy challenges.
At least there's a chance to get 2,000 gold from doing an assault. What server is this? What do you mean, what server? On which difficulty are you doing your Draenor raids? You should do it on all difficulties. There's separate lockouts for all of them. Mop raids are different. Besides the last one, Siege of Orgrimmar, all the other mop raids share lockouts. But in Warlords of Draenor, you can do the raids 4 times on LFR, Normal, Heroic, and Mythic. Stop tracking, 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 stop tracking. There we go. Don't be dead, don't be dead. Got it. I've never reached more than 200,000 gold. You can make that much in a week by just doing lots of farming. Easy peasy. The only people who don't make gold are the people who don't specifically try to make it. It's very hard to earn lots of passive gold. You have to make a very active effort to earn it. Shit. I have 2 rank 3 Echoing Void items. I want to wear both of them. But I can't because I don't have my cloak on this character. Go look for rares and objectives that spawn lots of mobs the fastest. I know, that's what I'm going to do. It still takes a while. Like, there's no fast way to complete an assault. Like, once you start it up, it's like, well, I'm going to be here for 30 minutes. It's not like an emissary where you can complete that in 5 minutes if you get some lucky world quests. Nope, these ones always take a long time. That's why I don't like doing them. I like my things to be fast and effortless. Otherwise, what's the point? Also, I know the world boss doesn't contribute to it at all, but it gives me a lot of gold. Ooh, it's an upgrade. Ooh, ooh. This character's name is Harima Lime because he's a monk. Only monks will understand. You can just shift left click on the quest for what? Is there Scroll of Resurrection now? I think so. Why are you farming this character, not your main? My main character is actually like my worst character to farm on. Because he's a priest, and priests are the absolute worst class in the game to do any kind of farming on. Fly down over here. Oh, I thought it was right there. Best way to farm gold? I have no idea. I do a whole bunch of different methods because I don't know which one of them actually works the best. Put the lime on a coconut and shake it up. No. Bad welts. I have a druid who is my gathering bitch. Oh shit, this one sucks.
Place of importance to our enemy. Do what you can to disrupt their operations.
Destroy the air cocoons. However, it looks like this one has been completed, so I need to wait for it to reset. I totally forgot. One of the other reasons assaults take so long is because for some reason they made it so you have to fight for resources. You can't just you know, complete something alongside everyone else. You have to compete with everyone for everything. Because I thought that was a good idea. Even though it doesn't work that way for any of the other zones, it's only the assaults that are like this.
Forget. Continue to thwart the efforts of our enemies.
How long do we have to play before Longboy is gone? Until Shadowlands comes out. Shadowlands will probably come out at the end of the year, though. So you have about 6 months. Good luck. Auction house flipping gives a lot of gold. It's also really risky. You can make a lot of gold, but you could also lose a lot of gold. Next up, Doormat Destroyer. Doormat Destroyer. Belfu wants human men. Valyria. Valyria was a gladiator who fought with Brawl Bearmantle, Varian, and he didn't fight with... What's the other guy's name? He's in Heroes of the Storm. He's the shaman healer. I'm blanking on his name. But he was a gladiator with Varian. And she wasn't super happy after all of her people died due to Arthas. And because she was BFS with Varian, she has ties to the Alliance. And because she's a Blood Elf, she has ties to the Horde. She's one of the few characters in game who's allowed to freely go into both areas. That's why they used her as like the go-between for some of the quests in this zone. Also, she's the rogue character representative in Hearthstone. Which is how people know her more often. Shit, I'm gonna die. I forget how strong these dudes are. Stop hitting me. Both Valyria fight with Ben Banemane. Ben Banemane? That's my RP character. Now, if you want to know a Mary Sue, you should look at my RP character, Ben Banemane. No one is stronger than Ben Banemane. He's probably the strongest character in fiction who doesn't exist. Still though, you better start making gold now, especially if you have family plans. Yeah. You know what they say, the best time to make a YouTube channel was 10 years ago. The second best time is right now. Same with making gold. Best time to start would probably been a year ago. Second best time to start is right now. No, actually the saying goes for trees. The best time to plant a tree was 10 years ago. Second best time is right now. That's the more normal way to say that kind of metaphor. Rhaegar, that's his name. That dude was my favorite shaman in Legion. He gave me 100% Ghost Wolf speed. Yeah. That's not mine. I'm like, why the hell am I being healed by this? Next up. Want to hear a sad thing? My gold making journey made me have to quit Classic and leave my Classic guild. More specifically, my Classic guildmates were telling me I wasn't making enough gold unless I sold carries. I didn't want to believe that, so in a fit of rage I quit the guild and cried about it. That's not sad. It seems like you made your own decision. You don't have to do anything. No one can tell you what to do in the game. You guys all just sign a social construct. It sounds like you're just bad at managing your time, Matson115. And that you have poor interpersonal relationship skills. Can you tell me what I should do? Yes, you should subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click on that notification bell. Watch all of my videos 3 times. Support me on Patreon, my OnlyFans, my coffee tip site, my gamer tag. Send me money through my PayPal link. Become a channel member. Send me super chats. That's what you should do. And of course, subs get free Snap access. That's normally a $50 value. Yours for the low, low price of a monthly payment of $5. I've been subbed from 2016, 2017, so I got that covered. Good, good. Excellent. Now just sign up for my OnlyFans. And then everything will be good. You mean keep social distancing? Did I tell you guys I have dogs? They're very quiet. They love to sleep right outside my door upstairs. And then bark right outside my door when someone comes. Even though I live in a big house and there's lots of other places for them to be. They love to sit right outside my door when I stream. For some reason. I don't know why. I'm not their favorite person in the house either. And they don't... Like, if anyone else is home, they'll hang out with them. Unless I'm streaming, in which case they'll sit right outside my door. How do we get your OnlyFans? OnlyFans is only for people who are already fans. And also, you're not allowed to share the images you get from my OnlyFans. Otherwise, I'll know. Does that Lucky do? Yeah, that's Lucky and Rocco. Lucky's blind. Last night he kept asking me to go outside, and I'd let him outside and he wouldn't come in, and he kept eating the grass. And I kept telling him to stop eating the grass because he's not supposed to. And he just ignored me. So I had to like pull him inside because he wouldn't stop eating the grass. Dogs, am I right? Making OnlyFans and post pictures of your face. Well, I mean, what do you think an OnlyFans is for? That's why people have those, right? Just to post pictures of their face and nothing else. I do like being able to dispel poisons on this character. Oh, I'm done. Neat. Done with the zone. What Anda used for the numbers and fonts, the way it circles around your character, that one's called MLK Scroll and Battle Text. Should I try out Classic Retail? Seems kind of stale to me. I'm kind of nervous though, as I've never played Vanilla. Should I try out Classic? Seems stale. It's fun. If you've never played it before, you'll have a blast. It's a really good new player friendly game. Is there a Patreon tier where you get to see your face? No. There is a Patreon tier in my... No, that's an OnlyFans tier. OnlyFans is for pictures. Patreon is for, like, behind-the-scenes stuff. About the actual work I do. Definitely not ungodly parental hand-holding. Ew, hand-holding. That's very unchristian. How dare you suggest hand-holding? I'm gonna die. Oh shit, I'm gonna die. I need to heal up. Do I have any healing besides Revivify? Damn it. Stop. Stop spawning things from beyond. Stop it. My god, that's like the fucking third one. You 100% won't enjoy Classic if you didn't play around Classic. Now, you can enjoy Classic no problem if you've never played it before. It's a really fun game. Like, the best part of Classic is leveling up. If you want to hate yourself, level up as quickly as possible and get to the end game. And then you'll realize, holy shit, the end game in Classic sucks ass. Staying outside and eating grass is a sign of indigestion? Probably. I don't know. He's also, like, on a strict eating schedule. Because he has diabetes. And the reason he got diabetes is because he would trick us into giving him food. Well, I mean, to be fair, it's our faults for giving him the food. But he would constantly, like, pick up his bowl and go to a different person in the house and throw it at them. And then they would give him food, and then he would do it to someone else. Because he figured out that everyone else would give him food if they hadn't done it already. And so he got really fat, and then he got diabetes. And I had to pay a whole bunch of money to keep him alive. So now he's not fat anymore, he's blind, but he's still hungry all the time. The community is so toxic on Classic? I guess it could be on some servers. Like, every online community is going to have toxic people in it. And I'd say the WoW ones are nowhere near as bad as some of the more PvP-focused ones. Just go on a PvE server and it probably won't be as bad. So it's my boots that are giving me Echoing Void. I gotta remove this for now, because I don't want to have to keep running away from the thing from beyond, since it spawned fucking 3 times in a row. Classic endgame is who can min-max the best in macro like there's no tomorrow. You don't even need to min-max. It's just people do it because they want to make it as easy as possible for themselves. Like, you'll have more fun in Classic if you don't min-max. Because min-maxing will make everything trivial. You know, unless that's how you have fun. There are people who have fun when they min-max to the point where things are trivial for them. Like, I am definitely included in that camp. I don't like doing assault zones because they take too long to do. And I would like them a lot better if I could, like, trivialize everything in them. I like to kill things super fast because I only care about the rewards. I don't really care about doing it for the gameplay. All of this stuff just feels like a chore to me. But I do the chore because I want the rewards. Like, you know, for example... Ooh, that's nice. That's a really nice piece of gear. I'm not going to wear it, though. Titan Purification Protocol. Okay, let's go back to Magni's plan. I finished this quest. Like, Hearthstone Battlegrounds. I enjoy the playing the game of Hearthstone Battlegrounds. They don't really give rewards for playing them. Like, you get 10 gold if you win 3 of them, I guess. And the gold is useless because I don't play any of the other modes in Hearthstone. I only play Battlegrounds, so I don't care about that. I just get it every once in a while. And you do get raiding too, but I don't really care about raiding either. So I play Hearthstone Battlegrounds all the goddamn time. Like, if I have any, like, inkling of free time, I'm gonna sneak in a game of Hearthstone Battlegrounds. I play it, like, to an addictive degree. And I don't care about any of the rewards from the game. I just play it because I like the gameplay. I don't do anything in WoW because I just like the gameplay. Well, I mean, besides raiding. I like raiding. But, like, outside of, you know, progression raiding, there's nothing in WoW that really captures me like Hearthstone Battlegrounds do. Like, I'm not farming gold because I like to farm gold. I'm doing it because I want the gold. If you hate yourself, just level a warrior without any help. Warriors in BfA are a lot of fun. Like, I just went on this whole spiel about how I don't like to do anything in this game. Besides raiding. Except on my warrior. It's kind of fun to do a lot of things on my warrior. Because fewer warriors themselves are just really fun to play. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Fury or Prot? Fury, Arms, or Prot? Here's the thing with the 3 specs. Prot is a tank spec, so they do very little damage, which isn't fun in world quests, which is what I use my warrior for most of the time. Arm sucks, and then Fury is a lot of fun. So of those 3 options, you have one that's not really made for world content, one of them that sucks, and then the other one that's fun. You know, by process of elimination, I have to go with Fury. What was your main source of gold? I'm trying to get to 5 million. I don't have one main source. I just did a whole bunch of things. Here's just jealousy can't play the superior spec Arms. Arms is just like any other DPS spec. Fury is so unique. It's so simple in its uniqueness, in that everything builds towards using Rampage.
Get back. Let's hear what Mother has to say.
Ask Rathion about a corrupted item. Can you tell me anything about this corrupted item? Damn, I'll do this later. Legit left YouTube playing on and it ended up on your stream. What you doing? I'm farming gold. I'm surprised YouTube autoplayed a stream. I assume that's how people come whenever the stream gets high amounts of views. Because I can't imagine people clicking on this on their own. Look at all these veiled crystals. Whoa. How do you get that mask? Headdress of Vengeful Spirits. I love it. It's so big.
Yeah, what do you want?
What's up, nerd? Why aren't you checking on Orbis on stream? Major city. It's super cool and important. I don't care about main central hubs. And I don't understand why other people do. Ooh, that's pretty cheap. I bought a whole bunch of these earlier today at a much higher cost. Can I interest you in a payment plan? I really wish I knew a macro in order to spam to disenchant these. But I've tried 5 times finding one online and I can't find it. And also the destroy feature bugs out all the time for me. My entire stream of content is left to the will of YouTube autoplay. To be fair, I watch YouTube recommended videos all the goddamn time. YouTube knows me well. They're like, hey, here's this channel you've never heard about this video topic that you'll definitely be interested in. And it's like the video topic was the world building in the Mistborn series is terrible. And it's like, I've vaguely heard of Mistborn, and that definitely sounds like a topic I'd be interested in. Let me click on this video. And I watch it, and I was like, that was pretty good. Thank you, YouTube. You gave me an enjoyable video that I would have never have searched out myself. Because I don't care about world building or the Mistborn series. But that was still a good video nonetheless. Most of your time in the next expansion, I mean, you're going to spend most of your time there, so like, who cares if you see it early or not? You're going to get tired of it in a week once the expansion starts. Whoa, why are there so many scantily clad women here? And how can I get those outfits? Okay, I'm going to go now. Goodbye, everyone. Until next